This video is brought to you by my website, airparts.com, high quality, genuine parts. In this video, I'm going to be replacing the sway bar end links in this 2012 Ford Focus. Now, worn out sway bar end links can cause rattling or knocking noises underneath your car every time you go over a bump, and they are a relatively simple part to replace, except if you have rust. But rust makes literally everything under your car hard to take off. So if you do have rust and you live in an area where there's a lot of salts on the roads, just be prepared with some sort of penetrating oil or WD-40 or something. Just spray it at least a day before you work on the car so you get the maximum effectiveness. Now this is the location of the end link. Right where that arrow is pointing, in this area, right down there is where we're going to be messing with now. I need a 15mm wrench, and we're going to need an Allen wrench to hold the center, because as you see, if I try to remove the nut, the stud will spin along with it, so we need an Allen wrench to hold the stud. This is the setup, so all I gotta do is to start loosening it. Now off comes the ABS wire, which is attached to the end link nut that goes on with it, so don't forget to put that back on when you're getting it back on. And now that it's loose, I have to remove it. In this clip I have it removed already, but I'm going to show you what I did. You can either pry down, or you could use a jack to lift up the strut assembly, just like I have in this footage right here. Just put your jack underneath the brake caliper or the control arm, and you lift, and you can see as I'm lifting how it's removing the tension from that.
It just comes right out. And the bottom one, we're doing the same thing. Just break the bolt loose. It's driving me insane. There it goes.
Now if your rubber boot is torn here, it's definitely time to replace it, but they can still make noise without a torn rubber boot. This one was making a little bit of noise, and replacing it fixed that issue. Here's the new end link. They are Moog brand. They are a little bit different. Instead of using the Allen, I needed an 18mm wrench to hold it. And you'll see exactly what I'm doing in this footage here. It depends on which ones you're replacing them with, but most of them will have either the setup like Moog or like the original equipment. And of course, don't forget to put your ABS wire bracket back on. It's such a small detail, but it's very easy to miss.
The 15, we're good. This one is really solid.
An 18. Go ahead and tighten it up. And that's it. This is how to replace the front end links.
Didn't have to. I managed to get this on very successfully. This feels great, actually. I think it's gonna be.
Now onto the rear end links. It's kind of the same deal here, but this is how they are. They're a little bit different. They're shorter. There's an 18mm nut on the bottom and a 15mm nut on the top, just like the fronts. Just a different design for the rears. Same thing, you have to hold the center with your Allen wrench. Now I just stuck my Allen wrench up there and turned it until it was wedged on something, and I was able to just remove that nut. Now once I have it all loosened up, I tried to see if I could pry it off. The fronts, you have the option of prying it or just jacking up the control arm. On the rears, I was unable to remove it by just prying on it, so I had to jack up the control arm, which really isn't that much more effort. You can see here as I jack the control arm up, and eventually it'll be free enough to just grab it and remove it. And now it's all freed up and you can just take it out. And you can see all of the space that I have here. Nothing's holding it into place. And the installation is just the reversed for the new ones that are going on. The only thing that I had to watch was when I was lowering the control arm, that nut went through the hole. I'll show you just a second, because it can get stuck if you're not monitoring it as you're lowering that control arm right here. Just make sure to watch your fingers when you're doing that. It's kind of obvious, but I'm just gonna put it out there. I just ended up inspecting it visually and then using my pry bar to kind of move it around while it had a little bit of pressure so I can feel it go through that hole. And that is it. You are done. The only thing left to do really is to take it for a test drive. If this video helped you out, make sure to hit like. If you're looking for more content on this specific car, such as shocks, engine mount, and other engine related videos, I got them. There are other DIY videos on this channel, so make sure to subscribe. And don't forget, if you're looking for high quality genuine parts, make sure to check out airparts.com.